morning, everybody. What's up? My name is Kim, and this is my very first video that I'm putting on YouTube about my diabetic journey. Today, I'm going to talk to y'all about my diagnosis story, how I got diagnosed, what happened, how I felt, everything that happened that day. I'm going to tell y'all what happened. Also, I've noticed not a lot of people in my ethnicity have type 1 diabetes. Mainly the minorities have type 2 diabetes and not type 1. I just got off work. I work overnight at my job, so usually during the day I'm either asleep or just resting because I have to work that night. I'm about to be on the way home, and then when I get home I'm gonna check my sugar because I ate raisin toast, eggs, and sausage. And I just wanted to see how my body did with the I only ate one slice of raisin toast. I just wanted to see how my body does with that one slice of raisin toast. And I didn't take any insulin for it. No milk insulin for it. Alright, you guys, so I'm back home and I'm about to show y'all how I check my sugar, because earlier I told y'all that I ate raisin toast, 4 eggs fried, and some sausage. So right here's my glucose meter, my glucometer, whatever you want to call it, glucose meter, whatever you want to call it. But I have the One Touch Varial Flex meter with the Varial test strips, and they look like this. They look like that. But all you do is take the meter, if I can get it out. You put a clean strip on the top like that, and then it'll turn on like this, and then you'll see a dripping blood dot on there. So I'm gonna wash my hands first, because if you eat like anything, you don't want no sugar or dirt on your hands. That will mess up your eating. Wash my hands. Alright, now that my hands are clean, as y'all can see, I see y'all found out where I worked at. If you've been paying attention, you know where I work at. And this is my Lancet. I don't never change this thing, ever. I do not remember the last time I put a new Lancet here. I don't even know if I have a Lancet. That's how often I do not change my Lancet. Anyways, so I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna get the Lancet. I'm gonna prick it, my pinky. And okay, didn't want to work this time. So my pinky's not working, so I'm gonna move to the next finger. So. Alright. This finger don't want to work. No finger want to work today. Alright. That one. Alright. All you need is this amount of blood. Maybe just a little more. Like so. Then you want to get your meter. You just want to put the blood on there. Alright. Next counts down from 5. 164. That's what my blood sugar is right now at 7:39 a.m. in the morning. My sugar might rise up more just because I'm sleeping. It tends to do that when I'm sleeping after I eat. After I eat and I end up going to sleep in the morning after getting off work, my sugar tends to rise. I don't know why. I could take milk time, insulin, and everything, and it'll still rise. I'm about to go to sleep, rest. When I get up, I will tell y'all my story about my diagnosis. So, see y'all later. What's up? I am up. I just woke up from my nap, and I'm here to start my day. So, about my diagnosis story, I was diagnosed when I would technically say when I was 19 years old, but I turned 20 like the next couple of days. So, my birthday, I got diagnosed January 7th of 2017, and then January 16th is my birthday. So basically I was diagnosed when I was 19. But anyways, it all started, I was in a class in college, and I currently was going to school for my culinary degree as a chef, right? And that day in class, I was the head chef and I had to run the class. So everything was going fine. I was running the class, and then all of a sudden, as I was calling out orders, I was starting to see like these flashing fire drill lights, just a whole bunch of them. I just kept seeing them, and I was like, "Chef, are we having a fire drill right now?" He was like, "No." He's like, "Do you have epilepsy or something?" And I was like, "No, I don't have epilepsy. I don't know what's going on." And so he was like, okay, come here. Let's just sit down, drink some water. He gave me some cheese and some crackers. Now, mind y'all, that morning, y'all, I didn't eat anything that morning, but I did have a bottle of cherry Coke that I drank that morning because I was just like, super thirsty, and I wasn't even hungry, just thirsty. So I drank me a bottle of cherry Coke that morning. Well, anyway, back to what I was saying. He sat me down and ate cheese and crackers, and then he called the school EMS to come, check my EKG and my blood pressure. So they checked my EKG and my blood pressure, and everything was fine. And they was like, "Miss Kim, do you want to go to the hospital? Because we can't draw blood or anything, And me, I'm real stubborn. Like, I'm just stubborn. So I was like, "No, that's okay. I don't want to go to the hospital." So it was like, "Okay, well, if anything happens, let your professor know. We'll come back and we'll take you to the hospital." So I was like, "Okay." So I went back into class, and after that, I got to sit out the rest of the class. He just let me sit, and I guess he was scared. He didn't want anything to happen to me. So after that, after class is over, I go to work at 2 o'clock. So I was going to work at 2 o'clock. I was feeling fine. I didn't see any more flashing lights or none of that. I was sorry you guys, there's a window right here. I didn't see any more flashing lights or anything. So I went to work. Everything was fine. I was feeling good. I felt like I was energized. Probably because, I don't know, but I just felt like I was fine. So when I got to work and I started to do my prep work, I'm a cook, like I said. I started to do my prep work. All of a sudden, as I was mixing the mix to make the waffles, I just got a pain in my chest right here. My arm felt really heavy on this whole side. I felt like I couldn't even pick it up. Like me doing like this, I couldn't do it. It was real hard for me to do that. And I was like just mixing up the batter real slow, trying to persevere through it and push through it, but it wasn't working. So I was like, dang, I don't feel good. My chest started hurting. I was dizzy, getting a headache. So I called my manager and I was like, "Yo, I'm not feeling good. I'm about to go to the hospital and I need to get off work." And by this time, I was only into work for about an hour. So I know he was like, "Oh, here we go." So anyways, I called my mom and I was like, "Mama, I don't feel good." He picked me up, taking me to the hospital. So Mama was like, "Yeah, Kimmy, I'm coming. I don't get off work till 4, but I'm coming." So 4 o'clock came around, so I was waiting about an hour. 4 o'clock came around, she picked me up, she took me to the hospital. And y'all, I swear, I was sitting in that car, my chest was hurting so bad, my arm was heavy. I don't know if I was about to have a stroke, I don't know if I was about to have a heart attack, but something was going on, y'all. And I didn't know it. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know I had diabetes, none of that. So she took me to the hospital, and we got to the emergency room, and the nurses took my blood and they took my urine sample. Y'all, why we were sitting there for about 2 hours and 30 minutes waiting on the nurse to come back and take my urine sample? When we found the nurse that we first dealt with when we walked in, we was like, "Here's my urine sample still. You still need it?" And you know what she said? "Oh, I forgot you all was even here." Like, y'all, I could have been dead. I could have been dead. Now I look back on it, I could have been dead waiting on her. While we was waiting the whole time, I kept, falling asleep back and forth. I fell asleep about 5 times in that 2.5 hours. I was so tired, guys. I was really tired. So, after I gave the nurse my urine sample, maybe about 5 minutes later, a doctor came back and he was like, they were like, "Kimberly Lofton?" And I was like, "Yes, that's me." He was like, "Okay, Miss Lofton, we're gonna admit you because, you have diabetes." And while my mom's sitting right here, right next to me, right? And I'm right here, and I'm like, and my mom's like, "What?" So, and then he was like, "Stick your tongue out." Yup. And I stuck my tongue out, y'all. My tongue was like very dry. I had dry throat. I guess that's why I was drinking a lot, because I felt thirsty and my throat was dry and I felt like it needed to be moistened. But anyways, forget all that. He's like, "We're gonna admit you." So they admitted me in the, at the time they were doing remodeling to the hospital. So I was sitting in the hallway, you guys. I think I went to a ghetto hospital, but anyways, I was sitting in the hallway, and they put the IV in me and was giving me insulin drip slowly. And they had their own glucose meter. It was like a big one they had, and they checked my sugar and it kept saying high. It kept saying high. Every time they checked it, every couple of hours they checked it, it kept saying high. So they kept putting insulin drip in me. And then eventually I got out the hallway and moved to the ICU room. When I went into the ICU room, they were still checking my blood sugar, you know, regularly every hour. And after that, the nurse came back. She was like, we're gonna have to put some potassium in you because your potassium level is low. So I had IVs in both my arms. I had the potassium in this arm, and it was real cold. When it went in, it kind of numbed my whole arm, and it was really, really cold. And then they put the insulin drip in this arm. So I was sitting here laying in bed like this, with all these things connected to me, the EKG machine, and I don't know what other machine they had connected to me, but they had a lot of stuff connected to me. And me sitting here thinking, man, I don't know what's going on. I just know something going on with my body, and I'm completely lost at what's going on. So later on, the doctor comes in. He was like, yes, Ms. Doctor, we was looking at your results and your blood and your urine samples and all that, and we come to find out that you have type 1 diabetes. I'm like, type 1 diabetes, what is that? I did not know what I had no clue about what diabetes was. I didn't know nothing about diabetes. I didn't even know there was 2 types of diabetes. I thought it was just one, type 2 diabetes. That's all I thought. I didn't know there was 2 types of diabetes. So he's like, you got type 2 diabetes, and that's mainly in the, you can get it when you're young, but sometimes as you're older, you can get it also. He's like, judging by your body, you're fit, you're not overweight, your age, you're very young, so you have type 1 diabetes. So I was like, okay. So then later on, they brought in a diabetic educator. You know, she told me about the diabetes and type 1 and what this was and this, that, and other, and what I had to do, and, you know, everything like that. So the first night I was in ICU, I couldn't eat nothing, I couldn't drink nothing, I couldn't even have ice, you guys. I was so hungry and thirsty. You know, being at that time, my sugar was still high, so I was like highly thirsty. And I was like, why these people not giving me nothing to drink? Like, I'm thirsty, like, please give me something to drink. So they wasn't giving me nothing to drink, and my throat is over here, you know, drying up. I was like, can I please get some ice? And the nurse was like, no, we can't give you nothing because, you know, you might have to go into surgery. Surgery? I might have to go into surgery? Oh, I was so scared. I did not want to go into surgery. I never had to be to the hospital in my whole entire life until that day. So the days went by. After the first day, second day came around, they put me into a regular room. That first night, they moved me into a regular room because my sugar eventually came down to about 300, which was pretty good, being that when I got admitted, my sugar was over 900. So my sugar came down to about 300, and they finally gave me some food, like the next day, like around 1, 2 o'clock. So I ate the food, and then they came back, checked my blood sugar again, guys. My blood sugar jumped right back up to 600. You know, my body was still, you know, woo. So they gave me another shot. They didn't give me no shot because I was on insulin drip, but they was giving me 2 shots, one in the morning and one at night of Levemir in a syringe that the nurse was giving me, one at night, one in the morning. So they were giving me that to also help my blood sugar level out. And then the doctor come in, and my sugar was, it was still wonky, but, you know, they could only do so much being that I had diabetes. So, you know, they was giving me my medicine. The doctor came in, and she told me, re-explained what I had again, you know, and then prescribed me my medication and what I had to take. I was taking Levemir. My first medication I was taking was Levemir, and that was all. That's all I was taking. I didn't have any fast acting insulin, but they just gave me Levemir as my prescription to pick up at, you know, the drug pharmacy. So I'm gonna go pick that up, and then, you know, I got released that day, and I went home. And y'all, ever since that day, everything has changed for me. But I am so glad that I've come far. I'm just gonna say that I've come far from where I was that day. When I got diagnosed, I found out I had lost 13 pounds in a matter of a week. Usually right now I weigh about 140 to 145, depending if I eat or not. When I got diagnosed, I was 127. I'm skinny now. Y'all see, like, my shape? I'm skinny now. I lost 13 pounds, you guys. My face was slim. My body was slim. My clothes did not fit. I would try to put this skirt I had on. I tried to put it on that I always wore, and it fell right off, y'all. It didn't grab onto my hips or none of that. It fell right off. Y'all, I just thank God that I'm here and I'm alive. It's a miracle. When I was in the hospital, they told me my A1C was a 19.1. Okay? 19.1. That's like a blood sugar of 600 for like 3 months or 6 months, however long I had the diabetes. I didn't know. I did know that I was starting to feel bad, like, you know, drinking a lot, peeing a lot, you know, the regular symptoms of being a diabetic around probably September of 2016. So, you know, I had diabetes already without being diagnosed, but without my knowledge, probably for about, you know, September, October, November, December, January, about 6 months. So in that little 6 months range, my A1C was a 19.1, which is high. But I just thank God that everything worked out, and, you know, I just thank God, you guys, because I'm here. The doctors did everything they could medically. Right now, I'm on pins right now, but I am trying to switch to a pump like soon. But right now I'm on Tresiba. I don't know if y'all can see that because the lighting. I'm on Tresiba and the Humalog. This is the fast acting and this is the long acting. I'm gonna make another video about the pins and how I use them and how I feel about them in another video. But these are the two pins that I'm using right now: the Tresiba, the Humalog, and the Tresiba. So you guys, that's my diagnosis story. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.